Assuming it works.
We're not on mute.
Yeah, I was hoping something.
Good morning, everyone. This is Laura Tibbetts in the system office. I'm showing that we have our committee all present. So with that, I will turn the meeting over to begin to Chair Scott.
Thank you, Laura. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Telephonic Planning and Construction Committee meeting for May the 16th, 2023. The time is 11 a.m. Notice of this meeting was provided to the Secretary of State as required by Texas Government Code. Please note the audio of this meeting is being broadcast live. Laura, let's begin with a roll call.
Okay, we'll start with you, Regent Scott.
Present.
Regent Austin. Regent Austin, you might be muted. *6. Okay, he was here. We'll continue down with Regent Lee.
Present.
Thank you. And we have Regent Flores.
Present.
Thank you. Do we have any other regents on the call? Okay, we'll see if we can, I think Regent Austin.
Why don't you go on and do the...
Yeah, I will. I was just looking at the board to see if I think he'll be back on. Okay, and then we'll continue on. Is Chancellor McCall with us?
Yes, present.
Oh, okay, thank you. Daniel Harper.
Here.
Thank you. Sean Cunningham.
Here.
Nellie Herrera.
Present.
John Hayek.
Here.
Derek Alexander. Carol Fox.
Here.
Marjorie Flanagan.
Here.
Pierce Mitchell.
Here.
And did I miss anyone from the system office on the call? Thank you. Moving down to our institutions, beginning with Lamar.
Here.
Who is with us with Lamar?
Mark Robinson.
Catherine Miller.
Bert Wagner.
Great, thank you. And moving down to Sam Houston.
Lisa White.
And Amanda Withers.
Thank you. Sil Ross.
Bonnie Albright.
Carlos Hernandez.
Thank you. Texas State.
Kelly Danfus.
Thank you. Is there anyone else with Texas State?
Cynthia Hernandez is here as well.
Okay, thank you, Cynthia. LIT.
Sid Valentine, Angela Hill, and Leanna Odom.
Thank you. Lamar State College Orange.
Wendy Elmore and Tom Johnson.
Thank you. And Lamar State College Port Arthur.
Betty Renard and Leanna Odom.
Great, thank you. And I believe we have Regent Austin back on. Is that correct?
Yeah, sorry, Laura.
That's okay. Thank you. Okay, that's roll call.
We also have Regent Flores. You did.
Oh, I did. Okay, I have him. Thank you. Mhm.
Okay, Daniel and I had an opportunity to review the agenda yesterday. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to Daniel, who will present the Planning and Construction Committee agenda items. Daniel, go ahead.
Thanks, sir. We have 2 action items today. The first one is the Sam Houston State Campus Master Plan.
100 square foot, 100 square foot, 50 square foot, 50 square foot, 25 square foot, as it goes further down. So the footprint kind of gets smaller and smaller.
That's Eric.
Is that who's
Somebody needs to mute.
*6?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we got it.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Please proceed, Daniel.
Yes, ma'am. Sam Houston hired Paige Sutherland Page to work with the various stakeholder groups on the campus master plan, the proposed master plan for 2023 through 2033. I'll note that there will be a formal presentation from the firm at the meeting next week. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Sam Houston State to lay out the highlights of the proposed master plan.
Thank you, Vice Chancellor. I've asked CFO and Senior Vice President Withers to make this presentation.
Thank you. We're excited to share with you our proposed master plan. This is an update to our 2013 campus master plan. This work began in earnest in March of 2022 and included representation and input from all areas of our campus, as well as our community and alumni. The proposed plan works to balance an investment in our existing buildings, the enhancement of outdoor spaces, with the new buildings necessary to support the growth projected over the next 10 years across our 3 campuses located in Huntsville, Conroe, and the Woodlands. The plan centers around 3 primary themes of 1, facilitating student success through activities such as accommodating growing academic programs, retaining a compact, walkable campus, and providing student amenities next to academic clusters. 2, strengthening campus neighborhoods by infilling our existing residential areas with new residence halls that will create an approximate 1,200 net bed increase, and also creating more open spaces within those neighborhoods. The third theme is enhancing the visibility of our campus by improving the branding and accessibility of the gateways into our campus. You will notice that those primary themes tie very strongly to the strategic priorities that were recently approved as we work to closely weave them together. This plan provides both a timeline of phasing over the next 10 years, as well as identifying the interdependencies that exist within the process. Our goal is that this plan is a well-balanced, achievable, and agile work roadmap to utilize our physical environment to support the goals and strategic plan of Sam Houston State University. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you about the plan. We're anxious for you to see the full presentation next week. We do have Ryan Loesch, our lead designer on the from Page on the call. If you have any questions that Dr. White, Ryan, or I am able to answer.
Are there any questions or?
I can't wait to see the video.
Yeah, I made the decision we wouldn't try to do that today, given that everybody's calling in and our time is everybody's very busy. All right, Daniel, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Would the committee wish to refer this item to the full board for consideration?
That was my line, and I just said it. And do I hear anyone who opposes moving it to the full committee? To the full board. All right. Hearing no objections, we'll move it to the full board, Daniel.
Yes, sir. So the next item is the capital improvements program, which is on page 216. This is the 6-year plan associated with the large construction projects, which are defined as over 1 million. The CIP right now is estimated at, or is 444 million. This is significantly down from previous CIPs that the board has considered. This CIP does not include the routine maintenance on the campuses or any project under 1 million. I'd ask the committee to turn their attention to page 221. And this table outlines each of the projects by component institution and is broken out by funding source. And then a few pages farther back on page 224, you'll see the same information, but broken out by fiscal year. And as the committee knows, focusing on what the institutions have planned for 2024 and 2025 are probably the projects that have the greatest likelihood of being constructed, as the funding has been identified and it's early. And lastly, I'll note that as these projects materialize, we'll also be presented any additions to the CIP at the subsequent board meetings. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my layout of the CIP.
All right. Is there any objection that we move the revised CIP to the full board? Hearing no objection, we'll move that forward as well. Daniel, go ahead.
Yes, sir. And the next item is informational, so there's no vote necessary. It's the quarterly planning and construction report. It starts on page 227. Active projects are up. We're now at $1.2 billion. And then I will note that on page 228, I find that chart's probably the most informative for the group to focus on, and it shows the long-term trend. And the peaks on that trend back in 2018 and again in 2022 are associated with the infusion of state funds through what some may know as the tuition revenue bond project. And then subsequently through there is just some summaries that identify the institution, the project, and some other information on those. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my layout for the quarterly report.
Please move on.
Yes, sir. And the last item we have is for the consent agenda, and it is to add 4 projects to the existing CIP at LIT. It's an advanced technology center. At Orange, it's improvements to the Student Success Center. And at Lamar State College, Port Arthur, it's improvements to the Madison Monroe building. Those 3 projects are to be funded by a special appropriation that the legislature is currently considering. And then the last item is the Lamar University library and its elevator upgrades. Lamar has chosen to separate this project out from the current library renovation. And so in order to do that, we want to present it to the board to ensure they're okay with that. And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my layout for the consent agenda.
Very good. Is there any objection to moving the consent agenda to the full board? And there is another opportunity at the board meeting to, if anybody decides they don't want something to go forward.
At all.
And with no objection, we'll send that on.
Yes, sir. And that concludes the agenda.
Very good. Thanks everyone for calling in. And unless there's some further discussion, anyone have any other comments? Hearing none, this concludes our telephone meeting today. For the record, the time is 11:13. I look forward to being with all of y'all next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.